Good morning, reception, and welcome to Wednesday's lesson all about Dinosaurs Galore. Press the pause button and listen to the story. Wednesday, the 3rd of March, and our learning objective today is to continue writing our poem about a dinosaur. Our success criteria is: I can say what a poem is. I can identify rhyming words. I can identify adjectives. I can think of adjectives about my dinosaur. I can use the sentence steps to success to write the second line of my poem. So, let's identify again what is a poem. A poem is writing that shares feelings or stories and has words that sound good together. Poems for children often rhyme, and as we talked about last time we wrote poems, poems can sound a little bit like songs. They have a rhythm. This week we will be writing a poem about a dinosaur. We will be writing a 3-line poem, and today you will be writing the second line. Let's identify what is a rhyming word. Remember, rhyming words have the same sounds at the end, not the beginning, at the end. So remember, when we read the words and we listen for the end sound, not the beginning sound. And they may not be spelt the same, but they sound the same, then they will still rhyme. Let's look at these words and see which of these words rhyme. I'm going to read them first, then press your pause button and think about which of the words rhyme. Go, mug, tip, sew, hug, rip. Press your pause button and see which of the words on this side of the board rhyme with the words on this side of your board. Okay, children, let's see if you were right. Go, mug. Go and mug don't rhyme. They don't sound a bit the same. Go, sew. This is a tricky word. Sew. It doesn't look the way it sounds. Go and sew rhyme because they both have the O phoneme at the end. Even though go and sew are spelt differently. Tip, mug. Tip, mug. No, they don't rhyme. Tip, rip. Tip, rip. Yes, they rhyme. Tip ends with ip and rip ends with ip. They are spelt the same and they sound the same. They rhyme. Hug, mug. Also rhyme. Hug, mug. Hug, mug. They both end, they both end with the ug phoneme. And I've done it already. Matched them up. Hug and mug rhyme. They both end with the ug phoneme. Well done if you got those rhymes correctly, especially go and sew. That was a bit tricky. I put that in there to trick you. So if you realise that go and sew rhyme, even though they don't look the same, they have different letters, they sound the same, so they are rhyming words. Well done, everybody. Now, in our poem, we're also using adjectives as well as rhyming words. So, let's identify what is an adjective. And we should be starting to remember this now. An adjective is a describing word. It tells us about a person, place or thing. It might tell us what something looks like, feels like, smells like, or how something behaves. Spot the adjectives in these sentences. So, I'll read the sentences first. Then you press your pause button, have a think about which of the words are adjectives, and then we'll see if you were correct. We'll do one sentence at a time. First sentence. The dinosaur has a sharp horn. The dinosaur has a sharp horn. Press your pause button and see if you can find the adjective in that sentence. Okay, let's see if you were correct. The dinosaur has a sharp horn. Well, we know from reading this that he has a horn. Is horn an adjective? No, horn is a noun. It is a thing on the end of his nose or on his head. It tells us here that it is sharp. Sharp is the adjective in that sentence. The dinosaur has a sharp horn. Sharp is an adjective because it is telling us about the horn. It's not a blunt horn, a little horn, a round horn. It is a sharp horn. So sharp is an adjective. It describes the horn. Okay, let's look at the next sentence. The massive diplodocus ate the tall tree. The massive diplodocus ate the tall tree. I'll give you a clue. There are two adjectives in this sentence. Press your pause button and see if you can find them. Okay, let's see if you were right. The massive diplodocus ate the tall tree. So this sentence is about a diplodocus and he ate a tree. A diplodocus is a type of dinosaur. So we know that's not a describing word. And I think we all know what a tree is. A tree is not a describing word either. The massive diplodocus. I think massive is our first adjective because massive is another word for big. It's a better word for big, really. Instead of using the word big, you could make your sentences more interesting with the word massive. It means the same. It means big. And it's telling us that the diplodocus was very, very big. The massive diplodocus. So it's a describing word. It tells us about the size of the diplodocus. The massive diplodocus ate the tall tree. Our second adjective is tall, because tall tells us about the size of the tree. It's not a short tree, it was a tall tree. So massive and tall are the adjectives in that sentence. Give yourselves a pat on the back if you recognise both of those adjectives. Okay. We explored Tyrannosaurus Rex yesterday. We thought of some adjectives to describe him. So we're going to think of some more adjectives that we could use in the second line of our poem. Yesterday, we looked at his teeth and we said that he has big, sharp teeth. Big, sharp teeth. So we've written about his teeth. Today I'm going to write about the whole of the dinosaur. I'm going to think about his colour and his size. In the last exercise, we talked a bit about the word massive, and I think massive is a good adjective to describe Tyrannosaurus Rex. He was massive. So I'm going to write massive here. I'm going to sound out the word massive. 2 syllables in massive. 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 Okay, let's do the first one. Mass. Mass. 3 phonemes in mass. S. S. Let's write them down. S. And it's 2 S's in the middle. Special friends. Mass. And the next syllable, iv. Iv. Okay. Iv is a little bit tricky. We can sound out some of it. I and v. We can hear those sounds. There is an E on the end that you can't hear, and that's why it is tricky. Massive. Okay, so Tyrannosaurus is massive. Let me think of another describing word. I'm going to look at the colour of Tyrannosaurus Rex. He's mostly green. So I'm going to write green as the colour of Tyrannosaurus Rex. Green. 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 4 phonemes. So that's 4 fred fingers. Pinch those phonemes on your 4 fred fingers. G, R, E, N. G, R, E. Special friends. When you're writing a word, a good tip is just to keep on saying those phonemes in your head as you're writing. G, R, E, N. G, R, E, N. Then you don't miss any phonemes out. Okay? So, I've added 2 words to my word bank of adjectives about Tyrannosaurus Rex. Massive and green. And I am quite happy with those. I'm going to use those in the second line of my poem. First of all, before I write it, let's remember our sentence steps to success. Say your sentence. Use phonemes and fred fingers to write words that you don't know. Start your sentence with a capital letter. Write on the line. Leave spaces between words. Put a full stop at the end of your sentence and read your sentence at the end to make sure that it makes sense. So, we are going to write the second line of our poem using 2 adjectives. Again, you're using writing sheet 7 because it's all on 1 page, your poem. So, my poem is called Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I've got the first line of my poem that we wrote yesterday. My dinosaur has big, sharp teeth. The second line of our poem is already started for us. On your sheet, you will see it says, he is. So, we've already got the first part of that second line written. He is. And I'm going to write, he is massive and green. So I'm going to hold that sentence in my head. He is massive and green. He is massive and green. He is massive and green. He is already written, so our capital letter is already there. He is massive. I don't put a capital letter here. I don't want you to make that mistake, children. Our sentence has already been started, so even though massive is the first word that I'm writing, it's not the start of the sentence. So it's a small letter here. Massive. We've already sounded it out, so I'm going to just write it. Leaving a finger space, of course. A. Ooh, a bit wobbly. Mass. I. That's the tricky bit of the word. He is massive and. 3 fred fingers for and. Let's pinch those phonemes. And. And. Finger space. A. N. D. Whoops. Bit wonky. Your letters will be so much better than mine. Okay, green. I'm just about going to fit it on here. Leave a finger space. We've already sounded it out, so I'm just going to write it. G. R. E. Special friends. Forgot my special friends here. S. Green. Last phoneme is N. And a full stop at the end of the sentence. Let's read it back. He is massive and green. He is massive and green. That makes sense. Let's go back and check it against our sentence steps to success. Did I say my sentence? Yes. Did I use phonemes and fred fingers? Yes. only for the word and, because I had already used my phonemes and thread fingers to work out massive and green. Start your sentence with a capital letter. That was already done for us. Did I write on the line? Yes, I tried to. Did I leave spaces between words? Yes. Did I put a full stop at the end of my sentence? Yes. And did I read my sentence to make sure that it made sense? Yes, I did. Great. So, you are going to use your sentence steps to success to help you to write the second line of your poem using 2 adjectives. So, just the way I did, on your picture of your dinosaur, write down 2 more adjectives that you could use in your poem. Think about what colour he is, what he looks like, his size. You will have already written the title of your poem, which is the name of your dinosaur, on writing sheet 7, and you will already have written your first line. So, on the line that starts with he is, you're going to write 2 adjectives. You will need to write the word and to link those adjectives together to make a proper sentence. Okay, again, I cannot wait to read these poems once they're finished, children. Goodbye.